Here comes Odyssey Sims, slicing into the paint, leaning, scoring. Indiana storms out with 10 straight points to start the game. Minnesota is stunned. Timeout Lynx. And on the Indiana bench, pure fire. They know what's happening. This isn't luck. This isn't survival. This is belief. What followed after that victory, and especially what Kelsey Mitchell said in the locker room, may be the clearest glimpse yet of how the Fever see themselves heading into the 2025 WNBA playoffs. Not as underdogs, not as survivors, but as contenders rewriting their own story. Stay with us, because the words Mitchell delivered after Indiana's third straight win are still echoing through that locker room. Indiana just defeated Minnesota without 5 rotation players. Yes, you heard that right. Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, Sydney Colson, Chloe Beebe, and Ari McDonald, all sidelined. Most teams would have collapsed. Most teams would have folded under that kind of pressure. But this team? The Fever found another way. And suddenly, their season, once teetering on the edge of disaster, has flipped into something entirely different. Let's rewind. Only a couple of weeks ago, Indiana had dropped 4 of 5 games. Their playoff hopes looked more like a dream slipping away than a goal within reach. Fans questioned, do they even have enough bodies to compete? But head coach Stephanie White gave them one message: be where your feet are. It meant stop worrying about who's missing. Focus on who's here. And with that, Indiana reinvented themselves in real time. Against the Lynx, the shift was obvious from the very first possession. Indiana set the tone, swarming defense, aggressive rebounding, and balanced scoring. 5 players finished in double figures. 5. That wasn't an accident. It was the result of a group refusing to let injuries define them. The stars of this transformation? Let's start with Aaliyah Boston. Already the anchor of the front court, Boston went beyond rebounding and defense. She orchestrated offense out of the post, forcing double teams and setting the table for teammates. Every touch shifted Minnesota's defense. Every rebound reminded the Lynx this was her paint, and she wasn't alone. Veteran Odyssey Sims injected life off the bench. 15 points, steadying possessions. A reminder to everyone watching, she's still got plenty left in the tank. After the game, Sims summed it up perfectly. New season starts Sunday. Then came Aerial Powers, delivering 2 clutch 3-pointers that silenced Minnesota's rally. Those shots weren't just points, they were momentum killers. And while fans roared, even Caitlin Clark sitting in warm-ups on the bench couldn't hide her excitement. This was proof. Indiana's depth wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. Meanwhile, Lexi Hull showed why coaches trust her so much. Guarding multiple positions, contesting shots, and still contributing offensively, she's become a cornerstone of Indiana's defensive identity. Add in Natasha Howard's quiet efficiency, stretching the floor, battling on the boards, and suddenly the Fever looked deeper and more balanced than they've been in years. And then there's the centerpiece of it all, Kelsey Mitchell. This isn't just another good season. This is the greatest scoring season in franchise history. For the first time ever, an Indiana Fever player is averaging over 20 points per game across an entire season. Mitchell isn't just filling the stat sheet. She's carrying Indiana into its first winning record since 2015. But here's what makes it even more impressive. With Clark sidelined, every defense locked in on Mitchell. Traps, double teams, physical bumps off every screen. Still, she produced, night after night. And not only scoring, leading. She knew when to attack, when to pass, when to calm her team down. That maturity created space for Sims, Powers, Hull, and others to shine. The organization has noticed. The Fever have launched a full MVP campaign for Kelsey Mitchell. Graphics, highlights, features, all pushing the message. This isn't just Indiana's star. She's one of the league's best. And honestly, she belongs in that conversation. But it wasn't one of her baskets that had the locker room buzzing after their third straight win. It was 4 words. You've seen our growth. That's what Mitchell told her teammates. Not, look at me. Not, we survived. But growth, as a unit. as a culture, as a team building something bigger than a single season. This is what separates Indiana's story from so many others. Yes, they've faced injuries. Yes, they've had doubters. But they turned all of it into momentum. And with the playoffs looming, they aren't satisfied with just making it. They believe they can win. Head coach Stephanie White's mantra, standard over scoreboard, has changed everything. She's demanded that Indiana play to their own level, regardless of opponent. And the players? They've bought in completely. Now rookies and replacements have playoff minutes under their belts. Veterans have proven they can carry the load. And when Caitlin Clark returns next season, she'll be joining a group far stronger, tougher, and hungrier than the one she left. So here's the reality. Indiana Fever's first winning record in nearly a decade isn't just a number. It's a signal. This is the foundation of something much bigger. The Fever were supposed to be too young, too injured, too dependent on one star. Instead, they're marching into the playoffs with confidence, chemistry, and resilience. Kelsey Mitchell's MVP-level season. Aaliyah Boston's dominance in the paint. Depth pieces like Sims, Powers, and Hull stepping into the spotlight. And a coach who has drilled into them the belief that every possession matters. This isn't just a playoff berth. It's the opening chapter of a championship window. This season was supposed to be about setbacks. Instead, it's about growth. The Indiana Fever are no longer asking if they belong. They're proving they do. And as the playoffs begin, one thing is clear. This team isn't done writing their story.